Hi guys, and welcome back to Delsbury. In this update I'm going to be showing you how I do my static grass. I'm going to be putting some static grass on this area of the church scene here. This is 2mm static grass, but I'm going to be adding some 5mm static grass as a top layer of static grass on this. Not all of it, but just some of it. I'm going to keep the 2mm static grass in the churchyard because that'd be more manicured than the outside of the churchyard. So I'm going to be putting a bit on there and just showing you how I do that. Might be some ideas you might be able to use on your layout. Nice, quick and easy way to do it. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Also going to be showing you some lights that I got from an Aussie company off eBay. I've plugged them before in a video that I've done, but I'd like to plug them again because I just think they're good people and they give great service. I'm also going to be plugging another Aussie company too. The company that supplied the static grass for me. Their product is really great. But before I do all of that, I'm going to take you around the layout and show you the cars and vehicles that I've put back on the layout, just to show you that they are there. As I've said, I've been going to do that for the last 2 or 3 videos, but they're back on the layout now, so I'll show you that right now. Alright guys, so I'm just taking you around the layout, just showing you that I've put the vehicles back on there, just in certain areas, parked in the pubs, on the side of the streets. I've got the Royal Mail there, next to the mailbox. Police car down the side of the police station there, and a few trucks and things here and there. I'm just going to take you around to here, a little car parked on the side of the road. I've got the gas truck up on the bridge, that's been there for a little while. Got the Land Rover parked in the car park here, just down from the station, with the chap in the wheelchair who's gotten out of the car there. And I've got the church cars back on the layout. Coming down further, I've got the transit van here in the welding scene. As I say, various cars parked along in front of the station, including the taxi there. And I've put the police box back on the layout, and got the bus in place there. Another Royal Mail transit van, I think it is, yeah, transit van, next to the post box. And a couple of trucks over this way as well, and in the construction scene, and of course the Faller bus just there, and another 4x4 just hiding down here. Oh, and the tractor. Just wanted to show the wedding scene with the flash photography. I had a request for that at one point, so I've got a button attached to the fascia board here, so I'll just press that button and the flash photography goes off. Taking pictures of the bride and groom, of course. Also, just to show you the welding scene there for those that haven't seen it. It's a Weissman welder, and he's just having a crack at that bit of fencing there. And I've got the chap standing there next to the drum with the fire going in it, which you can see there's a slight flicker in that drum there as well. So yeah, that's the welding scene. For those who haven't seen this is a knock product. So again, I've got the button on the fascia board. Just press him as a little bit of extra interest. And then of course I've got the cafe neon sign up on the top of the cinema there as well. So just to show you a couple of those little features of the layout. Okay, so I decided to get some different static grass that I haven't had before. I've previously got the Woodland Scenics and the Knock static grass in different colours, and I haven't been able to get one of the particular colours I like in Knock lately, so I looked up another company and I found an Aussie company online, and they are Ground Up Scenery. So the static grass that I ordered, which was actually very well priced, I must say, came in these little bags here, and so I've got, as you can see, I've got the wintergreen, 50 grams of wintergreen. It's 5mm. I wanted something a bit longer, you know, up to sort of 6mm, 5 to 6mm. I've got the olive there, in the 50 gram bag. And the colours are lovely, actually, I must say. So I'm going to open those up and get some static grass on the layout. So the reason I wanted to give these guys a plug was because, first of all, they've got a great product. It's a really well packaged product, and I must say, this hasn't been given to me. I have purchased these, but I just like to give companies a plug if they're doing the right thing. I think that's really important. These guys have given good service, they've given a good product, and I must say the price was fantastic of this static grass. Static grass can be an absolute killer on price, but this stuff is really well priced. Look them up online. Ground Up Scenery, their little slogan is scenery from the ground up. Ground Up Scenery, look them up on online, on Google. You'll find them there, and order away. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my hopper here is I'm going to put pretty much half and half of these static grasses in the hopper. So half of the wintergreen, let's say a generous handful. Not a handful, but you know, a fingerful. We don't need all that much. And same amount of the olive, because I want to get that little mix of colour happening there. And this olive colour, it's beautiful. This is going to brighten up a little bit. The dark green woodland scenics 2mm grass is actually quite nice, but by itself it's a little bit dull. I liked it when I first did it, but it's going to be nice to create a little bit of elevation as well on the grass. A little bit of height. Alright, so we'll screw him back up again, and we shall go over to the church. Okay, so this is the general little work area that I'll start off with. First things first, I've got a nail, so I'll place the nail in the foam here. That's going to be my earth. So that's what I'll put the alligator clip, attach the alligator clip of the static grass applicator onto. So clip him on there. I've said this before, I'll say it again, one little tip. When the static grass applicator is energised, for goodness sake, don't touch the mesh. You'll really know about it, particularly if you've got new batteries in the unit like I do. I've just put new batteries in. It gives you a decent crack. So when you've finished, and I'll just demonstrate, I'll just press the button on the static applicator. Now I've just pressed that for a second. Oh, there you go. I only press that button for a second. So you want to make sure every time you've finished using the applicator, get the alligator clip, touch it to the hopper or whatever unit that you've got, touch it to the mesh of the unit, just to discharge it. Okay, enough of the safety briefing. Okay, so I'm going to use my trusty old extra firm hairspray. No modeller should be without it, particularly in a lovely pink tin. And what I'm going to do is quite simple. I'm going to spray this section here. Now I'm just going to spray the section where I want some of the longer stuff to be. I don't want it to be everywhere. Alright, static grass applicator. On, check, where's the light? There's the light. We're charged up. So we get our hopper, and we let the static grass do the work. There we go. There we go, lovely. That's a nice length actually. And a bit over here. It's a really nice colour, that. I'm just going to bring you closer to it so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so that has stuck to that hairspray. very, very nicely. Just so that you can see it from a different angle being applied. I'm just going to move my nail. My hairspray. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit here, just right up against the fence. Let's see if you can see how that static grass comes out. Just like that. Covers it really nicely. It's actually a nice, it's a nice colour, this this mix of the olive there and the wintergreen. As you can see, I've put quite a bit on there and it becomes quite motley, which is actually good because around those bushes there I actually wanted it to be quite long. It was far too short the way it was before. Once it's in its spot there, you can simply spray on top on everything that we've done there just to set it in, and that will set it quite nicely. This using hairspray rather than a spray adhesive is much, much better on products like static grass. It actually works on a number of different scenery items actually. But static grass it's brilliant for because it doesn't clump up. Also, it makes the train room smell quite nice. And why wouldn't you want a nice smelling train room? I'm just going to do around here now. And I'll show you what that looks like. Now this is just a snippet of this church scene that I've done. I'm not going to do the whole lot tonight, but I just wanted to give you an example of a nice simple way to add some nice thick static grass, some wild static grass on there. You can continue. I've done one coat of the hairspray, but 2 or 3 coats is probably always best. I'll show you the difference. You look at that grass there and that colouring there versus the plain 2mm woodland scenic static grass over here. The other thing I quite like about the static grass is the more layers you do, the more it covers up the fact that you've got mod rock underneath the scenery. It just smooths everything out. You can still see a little ridge there, but I'm just going to put some little bits and pieces of foliage on there, and you can do whatever you like. It's obviously it's up to you. You know what you like to look at. This is just a little bit of woodland scenic underbrush forest blend. I've got a little mix that I've made up with some coarse scatter. I think it's got a bit of burnt scatter in there and some green scatter. I've also got some coarse burnt grass, coarse turf there as well. And I've got some little flowers here too. Particularly with the flowers, I think anyway, you don't really want to overdo it. These are really good, these little flowers. But you just want to, so they hardly come out, but they make a difference when they do. There they are. Now you can't see that all that well. I'll show you in a second, but you want to do little patches of the flowers. You can see them now on the screen. I'll do a couple over here. I just quite like the look of the little flowers. It just makes a nice little addition to a grass scene. But I'm not going to overdo it there. I'm just going to get a little bit of my coarse turf mix again only a little bit. And this is only doing it very quickly. Obviously you may do something completely different. You may do different colours and different textures, and that's fine. We all like to see different things. We all have an idea of what we think nature should look like. It's completely up to you. Some of you watching this will look absolutely awful. And to some of you it might just look okay. So see how it just raises the level of the scenery. You're doing it layer. Everything in model railways, as you know, is layering. It's all about layering. I've just got some burnt turf here, but I don't want to use all that much actually. I just actually want to put a couple of clumps down. Maybe a little bit up against this fence line here. Just a few bits and bobs, not too much. Just to show some difference in colorations of certain foliage that, or certain weeds more like, on this area. You can soon see how layering makes such a three-dimensional effect, and also it's much better for the eye. As well. So just a little bit. I mean, a lot of the time less is more. Again, it's personal choice. But that's starting to look a little bit raised, and it's starting to look, you know, really varied. You know, we've got a certain weed here in this burnt grass. We've got a mixture of what looks like something like a climbing weed in this coarse stuff there. And of course we've got a mixture of the flowers underneath in between too. I've got my Woodland Scenics underbrush here. This here I won't use too much of either, but for just placing down in the bottom of that gap down there where potentially water would gather, and you get this gnarly, rough, possibly thorny weed growing down the bottom there. It just looks awful in real life. You know the stuff I'm talking about. That's that stuff under there where it all collects. But you can soon see where basically this material that I'm putting down, particularly this underbrush, this stuff is designed to sort of be at the bottom of a canopy of trees, really. Then you sort of weigh it up and you say, okay, well, how does that look? Now, the thing with that is it's probably a bit dark. So I'm just going to just lighten that just a tad by putting some of that other weed growing up through it. Just some of that weed on the top there. I'll look at it again, see how that looks, and you just want to put just enough on there, but it's a bit like painting a picture. You want to get just to that point, but stop just before you've buggered it up. So, yeah, that's it. I think I'm at that point. Any more than that, then yeah, it's going to look, well, for my liking, it's going to look a bit ordinary anyway. All right. Let's see if we can have a bit of a close-up on that. And you can see the varying heights of all of that area there. So that when you've got, let's say, a low scene, and I'll just take you off the tripod, bear with me, and you've got when you're looking at it from down here, you know, you can see the varying levels sort of looking up into the churchyard, up to the wedding scene there. So I like that. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Again, it's personal choice, but when you look at the difference between something like that part of that scene there versus freshly laid longer static grass versus the base grass that you started off with, it's chalk and cheese really. Even when you come around this way and you can see the difference in the types of foliage that you've got. So really what you want to do is you want to have a shelf full of different textures of scatter, different colours, different makes and models and manufacturers and all that sort of stuff, because when you start layering stuff up like this, it starts really just popping out of the layout. Anyway, that's the way I do it. You guys could do it something completely different, and that's absolutely fine. This is just an idea as to the way I do it. Once I've done that, I'm going to give it another spritz of the hairspray. Now, I don't do one long spray on this. I do short sprays because I don't want to move the foliage too much. I want to make sure it kind of stays in its same position. So we want to really... And once we've done a couple of spritzes, we can start doing some longer spritzes there, and it'll keep more of that in place. Now, I should just point out, the hairspray, of course, isn't going to keep everything in check if you want to come along with a vacuum cleaner and sort of go, okay, I'm going to clean the dust off this part of the layout. But then again, not many glues will actually stop foliage from being sucked up anyway. So the fact that you can do much more delicate work with hairspray, I think, is a bonus in some areas. And so if you haven't used hairspray for modelling model train layouts, give it a shot. One more Aussie company I just want to plug before I go, because I just think they're a great couple of people. Australian Fun Times. You can find them on eBay. If you type in the seller name Australian Fun Times, you'll find them. I've got these LED street lights. You've all seen these on the internet, LED street lights from them. But they're an Aussie company, and they supply a lot of model train stuff, a lot of other stuff as well. And it's Cam and Crystal run the company, and they've again I've purchased these, purchased a few things off Cam and Crystal over the time. And they sent me a couple of people along with the lights as well, just to make sure the lights got to me okay. They're the caretakers of the lights. So thanks Cam and Crystal, and guys, check them out. If you're in Oz, check out these guys, see what they've got. They're good prices, nice people to chat to on the email, and good products. I also promised Cam and Crystal I'd show them some of the lights that I got off them last time, which are these ones here. They've been on the layout for a while now, just adorning the streets. So Cam and Crystal, there you go. There's some of your lights in motion. Well, not in motion, but in use, let's say. That is it, guys. Sorry about the length of this one. It's been a bit of a long one, but hopefully you've got something out of it anyway, and I appreciate you guys supporting me. The subscriber numbers are going up, which is great. Thank you very much, and thank you once again for watching. I'm enjoying watching all of your vids at the moment too. So take care, and we will chat to you soon. Cheers.